Bienvenidos a un nuevo podcast. Esta semana tenemos un nuevo invitado, en este caso tenemos con nosotros a Chima Moneke.
Hola a todos.
¿Qué tú, Chima?
Estoy increíble. Soy Chima Moneke. Hola a todos. Estoy muy feliz de estar aquí.
Muy bien el español, ¿eh?
Gracias. Gracias a mi profesora, Tarika.
Vamos a empezar con la primera pregunta del podcast, que se la hacemos a todo el mundo, y es que pienses en el recuerdo más importante de tu vida. Puede ser personal o deportivo.
I would say my most favorite memory, athletic-wise, is probably playing in the NBA, but more specifically playing against LeBron. I think that was, I have it tattooed under me. No one's really seen that tattoo because it's right behind my leg. But for me, that's a moment that I genuinely still can't believe happened. I'm grateful for that, and I'll never forget it. Just because LeBron is my hero, he's the reason that I even watched basketball. And and favorite memory in my life, my life is, I don't know. I think my life has been all dedicated towards basketball, really. Ever since I started taking it seriously, so it's hard to say, and because of that, I've struggled. I've sacrificed a lot in my personal life, not seeing my family for so long, and especially my parents. I'm about to be 30 years old, and I've seen my parents twice since I was 13, so it's crazy, but personal life, I don't know.
Vamos a hablar primero de ese primer recuerdo de la NBA con LeBron. ¿Cómo se dio esa situación?
I felt, wow, it was crazy how it happened, just because it was in preseason and we played a game before that and I didn't play, and then the morning of the shoot around I was expected not to play, and the coach came up to me and said, do what you need to do. We're putting you on LeBron tonight, and I just my body just started vibrating. And I was just like, whoa. And I remember I got home before the game and I called my brothers and I said, yo, you guys got to watch this game. I'm guarding LeBron. And the game started, didn't play the first quarter, and started the second quarter. They said, yo, Chima, if LeBron starts, you're starting with him. And from there, it was crazy. I just remember I played really good defense on him. Obviously, it's preseason and he didn't know who I was and he was just relaxing or whatever, but it was still a great moment. And every time the ball was out of bounds or something, I'm looking at him like, LeBron, I love you. But it was a great moment for me.
Y luego también vamos a hablar de esa parte que has nombrado de tu familia. Naciste en Nigeria en el 95. Cuéntanos acerca de tu infancia, ¿cómo fue?
Very different. My childhood was very different. My parents are diplomats. They've been together for 45 plus years now, but they were diplomats, meaning they represented Nigeria in the embassy in different countries, in the foreign affairs. And my dad got sent to Ethiopia, Australia, Switzerland. My mom got sent to Turkey. And when he got sent to Australia, I was, turning 3 years old. So that's my earliest memory. And I just remember, we had the drivers, we had 2 drivers, we lived in a big house, my whole family was there, it was crazy, Australia was beautiful, people were nice, and then we moved back to Nigeria and it was a completely different life, and all of that was beautiful, moved to Turkey, and at this point I was only with 2 of my brothers and my mom. It was just us 4, and it was completely different. Meeting different people, meeting different types of people, different nationalities and things like that. Just learning about the world and being open to everything was what became normal to me. And then we moved back to Switzerland. We moved to Switzerland and moved back to Australia, which is where I started playing basketball. And so it was just a lot of traveling, getting to know people, and then leaving.
Que has aprendido también de toda esa experiencia, de tantos cambios que para ti han sido normales, pero una persona normal, ¿no? Lo ves de fuera y es raro un poco todo.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're a kid, you don't think about what is normal. You think that your childhood is normal. So I accepted it. I thought that, this is what my childhood is. I didn't have any other person to compare it to. I just knew that this is what my childhood was. I didn't know how special and unique it was until I moved to Nebraska when I was 17. And, you know, I would tell people I've lived in Turkey, I've lived in Nigeria, I lived in Australia, and they didn't even know where these places were on the map. And they had never left the state of Nebraska or, you know, the Midwest. So I realized that, wow, okay, my life was very special and different, and I'm grateful for my parents, and it helped me, I love all types of people, you know. There's no racist bone in my body. There's no discriminatory bone in my body. I feel like, I love everyone. I accept everyone, and I'm willing to be in a different place. That's why coming overseas to play basketball was easy for me. It wasn't as hard as it would be for other people. But, yeah, I'm grateful for my childhood. There was things that were tough, you know, most importantly not seeing my family as much as I would like to. But, yeah, you know, definitely wasn't easy, but it was great.
O sea, has asumido los cambios de manera positiva. Y mi pregunta es, de todos los sitios en los que has vivido, ¿cuál es el que más te gustaba y por qué?
I would say Australia.
Vale.
I would say Australia because of how we lived when I was there, the friends that I had when I was there. It was the last time in my life where the whole family was together. So definitely Australia, and I have a lot of love for Australia. I have, you know, several apartments in Australia, and that's my second home.
Vamos a hablar también de esa parte familiar, porque sois bastantes hermanos. No sé si alguno también comparte el ser deportista contigo.
Yeah, one of them. Okay, so no. I have 5 brothers.
Okay.
And obviously 2 parents. We all played sports. We all played soccer, football. My mom played a little bit. Obviously, I'm the only professional now, but we all played football, and 2 of my brothers in particular were amazing. You know, amazing at track and field and amazing at football especially. And shout out to you, Gucci and Obi, big boys. But when they were 15 and 14, they were offered scholarships to go and play in America, and my parents they said no. They didn't let them play, and I think it's a Nigerian thing of not realizing, you know, how far sports can take you, and being afraid to let your kids be in a different country, you know, by themselves. And I think that's probably one of their biggest regrets, just because those 2 brothers of mine were so good that they would be playing professionally. They would have been playing professionally for sure if they were allowed to go. And so yeah, we all played football. Those 2 were the best, and I followed in their footpath. And eventually, they stopped, and then they started making music. And it was me and the brother I'm the youngest. There's a brother that's the second youngest, directly older than me. He started playing basketball. We started playing at the same time, but obviously he was older. He was better early on, and it was like, okay, let's do this. And we're the 2 tallest in the family, so it was something that we just decided to do. And he eventually got a scholarship to play at a prep school in Florida, and then eventually to a Division II school in North Carolina. And then he got injured, and then he had to stop. And then it was like, okay, it's all me or nothing. And at that time, I mean, when I started playing basketball, I knew that there was nothing else I wanted to do. So now I'm carrying the family.
¿Y cómo se tomaron tus padres el hecho de, claro, tus hermanos podrían haber estado jugando profesionalmente a fútbol, finalmente tú eres el que llegas a ser deportista profesional? En ese momento, ¿qué le dices a tus padres? Me quiero dedicar a esto. ¿Cómo fue?
Well, I think for me, the biggest differences was I wasn't living with them at that time, so it was easier for me to play basketball. But I also I wouldn't have let them say no. But when I moved back to Australia, I was 13. My parents stayed in Switzerland for 3 more years, and I was living with my oldest brother. And I went to school, I worked, and I played basketball, and that was it. And I made it a goal for me to play at this level and that level. And I told my parents, like, guys, I'm playing basketball. Like, this is what I want to do. They said, okay, cool, as long as you get your degree. That's the only thing we want, as long as you go to school. And they didn't know how serious I was with this. They didn't know how good I could be. They just said, okay, as long as you take care of school. And I took care of school, and eventually I got a scholarship to play in America. And that's when they were like, oh, wow, okay, this is real. And from there, it was over.
Y con todo lo que me has contado antes, que toda la familia jugabais a fútbol, ¿por qué al final baloncesto y no seguiste por el fútbol?
Because I'm 6'5.5", I'm 6'6". I think I got too tall, and for me, I'm a plan A only type of person. I'm not a plan A, B, C person, because if you have all these plans and options, which is good for some people, not for me, it means that you're not as focused in your plan A. And for me, I wanted to play football, but I was still so young that I could be influenced by other things. And already at that time, I watched basketball a lot because of LeBron. And when I started playing basketball, I made that decision pretty quickly that this is what I want to do seriously, and I will only play FIFA.
¿Y ahora también sigues alguna liguilla de fútbol?
Yeah. So I think I would have been. Repeat the question. I think.
I mean, if you continue seeing football like Champions League.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. I always will love football. I have a Ronaldo. I have 2 Ronaldo tattoos. Ronaldo Nazario, and Sue. But yeah, no, I mean Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest ever.
¿Y por qué tienes tatuados?
Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, he was my first idol in life. You know, first person that I didn't know that I was like amazed by. And yeah, I was a big Real Madrid football fan. Los Galácticos were like influenced me, and I remember the haircut Ronaldo had at the Brazil World Cup, the World Cup 2002, playing for Brazil, and it was just like, wow, like this guy is amazing. And obviously, you know, I kept watching football, and I was a Real Madrid fan, and there was this guy named Cristiano Ronaldo who played for Man United is when I started following him, and then he ended up in Real Madrid, and it was like, this is the guy. And I still watch football to this day. I watch Champions League, I watch Premier League, I watch La Liga when I can, Alavés, of course. Go Alavés. But yeah, no, I love football, always.
Y si tuvieras que elegir a algún jugador de fútbol de cualquier equipo para enfrentarte contra él, ¿quién sería?
Oh, I mean Ronaldo, for sure. Yeah, Ronaldo.
¿Quién ganaría?
He of course he would win. But I genuinely believe if basketball never came into my life, I would be amazing at football. Genuinely.
Vamos a hablar también de otro tema que poca gente igual sabe, es que tú estudiaste comunicación, ¿no?
Oh.
¿Por qué?
You knew that?
Yes.
So, yeah, I honestly, I studied psychology first. That's what I wanted to do. And then I transferred to California, UC Davis, and communication was what made the most sense, just because it was more, obviously basketball was my main focus. I went to school, I got paid, they paid my tuition to play basketball at school, but basketball was number one, and I did a degree that I knew that I would be good at, I would have some interest in, and I'm a good communicator, and I believe it's important, because some people get misunderstood because they don't know how to communicate or they don't like to communicate. And for me, I don't ever want that to be a problem.
Y eso te ha hecho crearte, me imagino, también el canal de YouTube de Chima Moneke, ¿o no?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it all goes hand in hand, and I think that's why it's a big reason why I'm comfortable doing YouTube, and a big reason why I started doing YouTube. And I think I've never been uncomfortable in front of a camera. The same way I speak to you now is how I would speak if the camera wasn't here. And I truly believe that's how to be. And I see a lot of people, they speak normally, and then when the camera's in front of them, they don't know what to say. And I can't relate to that, and I'm glad that I'm not like that just because, yeah, this is who I am.
¿Qué tipo de contenidos son los que más te gusta hacer? Y los que menos.
I would say on my channel,
Yes.
I would say my favorite videos are the how you live in videos, the house tours, combined with the interviews, just because growing up as a child, I don't know if you know what this is, but MTV Cribs, do you
Yes.
remember? That was huge. I remember watching those, even though I found out later that it was fake. A lot of those houses weren't theirs. But my overall goal with YouTube is just to inspire people. And in Europe, one of my biggest criticisms about basketball in Europe is that there's not enough personalities. There's not enough players that are able to be themselves. There's not enough content creation which will help people be fans of basketball, which is the most important thing. There's so many people that I've met that say they don't even know anything about, they didn't know Baskonia, but they knew me from my YouTube channel, and now they watch Baskonia games only, and now they watch EuroLeague games. And I feel like that's super important. It's gonna help grow the game for the future. You know, the kids that are coming up, it'll be more economic opportunities, it'll be more things to do, more people that'll care about basketball, just because in Europe, like, you see how much people care about football, and the comparison to basketball is so far that it doesn't make sense. Like, you see the fans of Real Madrid football team, and then you see the fans of the basketball team, and it doesn't make sense why it's like that. So for me, that was my main goal, starting a YouTube channel, just to help more people know about the game. But to go back to your question, yeah, the how you live in videos are my favorite.
¿Y en qué te inspiras también para hacer a veces los vídeos?
Say that again?
¿En qué te inspiras?
Ooh.
Difficult question, maybe.
When I started, I would say that I just felt like my personality was so natural, my energy was so infectious that, like, everyone told me, since I've been hearing this since I was a child, that, yo, your energy is like different, and like people need to see that. And I think obviously, like, I'm good at the sport, which is important, but my ability to connect and communicate with people is the most important. And there's certain people that don't know how to use their voice, or that want to make a YouTube video or a YouTube channel, but they're scared, they're nervous, and I want to be the voice for those people. And at the start, you know, I just did it just to be like, okay, you know, I'm doing this now, and you know, I never expected the reaction that I got. You know, I just hit 60,000 subscribers in just over a year, which is crazy. And I think now what inspires me the most is the messages I get from people that I don't know who they are, but they know me, and they watch my videos, and they say they relate to me because maybe they were in a Division II school or a junior college or a low division team not getting that much money, and they ask me how did I stay motivated and what advice I have for them. Like, whenever I see those kind of messages in my requests on Instagram, like, I try to respond to them because I was once in their position. So that's definitely what inspires me the most now.
Que también sientes a esos fans más cerca, ¿no? A través del canal de YouTube. Y la pregunta también que te quería hacer para terminar un poco el tema del canal es: ¿hasta cuándo tienes intención de seguir? Si cuando te retires, de aquí a muchos años, ¿tienes intención también de seguir con el canal de YouTube, o cómo va?
I don't know when I'll stop. I just know that now I have a goal of getting 100,000 subscribers so I can get the plaque. That's the only thing I want. You know, I never started it for money. You know, all the money that I've made from YouTube, I've left it in the channel, and didn't really do it for that. I just think it's awesome to make memories that maybe when I stop and I look back at my career, I'm like, wow, that was a great time, and you know, this was dope, or wow, I got to interview this player, and people get to see his message. So my only goal now is 100,000 subscribers. After then, I'll stop whenever it feels right, and there's a lot of people, I will say that there's a lot of people that I want to interview. And, you know, depending on how it goes, maybe if I feel like I've done enough with basketball, I'll start to interview some soccer players or some other athletes or just people that inspire me. Maybe I'll never stop. I don't know. But we'll see what the future holds. I have no expectations. I'm just grateful to be here right now.
Cuando tengas la placa, puedes hacer el house tour con el sitio donde pongas la placa también.
1,000%. I'll send one to you guys too.
¿Y qué persona es la que tienes en mente que te gustaría entrevistar? La más famosa, por ejemplo.
That I've already interviewed or that I would like to interview?
You would like to.
I would say
Ronaldo.
No. I mean, that's like, I would say in the EuroLeague, someone I would like to interview that I haven't interviewed yet, somebody that like is a legend and isn't playing anymore, like a Spanoulis or someone that never did, like a Diamantidis or maybe Juan Carlos Navarro, a guy like that, guys like that, Luis Scola, people like that
Like legends.
Inspired a lot of people and don't like to do interviews. I think those are the type of people I'm trying to do now. In terms of basketball in general, LeBron would be good. In terms of anybody in the world, Ronaldo would be
saying
good.
that message to LeBron, maybe.
LeBron, it's your boy, Chima. If you ever see this, I need the interview, all right? Appreciate you. Ronaldo, es tu amigo, Chima. If you ever see this, I need that interview as well, okay?
Call me at.
First of all, if you see this, follow Baskonia on Instagram or Twitter. Follow me, Chima, on Twitter as well. And Instagram, Chimdog, right here. CHIMDOGGG. All right? If you need that, let me know.
Vamos a seguir hablando de más cosas. Estábamos hablando un poco del tema de la comunicación. También has estudiado psicología. ¿Por qué? ¿Qué te llamó la atención de psicología?
I like how I think I always knew that, okay, people think and act differently. And why is that? And honestly, like this is a sensitive subject and it never made sense to me. And as I got older, I met more people and I just learned different things and it was like, wow, okay, the way I think, and I think this is normal, or this, I can look at this thing and feel nothing, and someone else completely can look at the same thing and get scared or get happy, and they don't know why. That's just how their brain is wired. So, you know, that was the biggest reason why, and as I got older, I try not to judge people without knowing them or without talking to them, and I like to ask people, like, how are you feeling today? Like, how are you? I don't like the generic, I'm good, because it's a lot of the time you're not good. So if someone asks me, like, how I am, I tell them the truth. I'm tired. I have no energy today. I feel great. You know, I like to do that just because it's super important to, like, build comfort in people and for them to feel comfortable to be themselves and to express themselves. And then now that I've become an athlete and I'm someone that people have a lot of opinions on, and you know, with social media, like I see people deal with opinions and comments about themselves in like different ways, and it's important for people to remember that we're all human, and it's just people are dealing with all kinds of things, and I think it's very important to just try to be nice and try to be considerate of what's going on. And I also feel like a lot of people that are on social media spewing hate and spewing negative comments, maybe they're upset in their own life, and that's the way they feel better about themselves. That's I think that all goes hand in hand. And yeah, my true first love for studies was psychology, and it will always be like that because I try to think deeper than the surface.
O sea, te ha ayudado en parte a gestionarte a día de hoy ya siendo adulto gracias a todo lo que has estudiado también en psicología, ¿no?
Yeah, for sure.
Y hoy en día, A veces los jugadores, ¿no? Tanto de fútbol como de baloncesto, pasáis por rachas negativas, que mentalmente pues también es una carga. ¿Eso tú cómo lo gestionas a día de hoy?
I mean, it's different. There's no one answer that I can give you, just because some days it affects me more than others. But I think I do a better job of it now, because I just know that everyone has an opinion on me, and I've seen so many opinions about myself from people that don't know me, and I've learned that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because I've never had a bad experience with a fan or with someone in person, and I think that's the most important thing. That's what I try to remember, you know. I make a video, and people, like I've seen this, I'm just gonna be real. I started the YouTube channel, and there's times where people are like, oh, he doesn't care about basketball. Oh, he's only focused on this. I don't want him on my team because he's doing this. Or he's trying to go to another team. He's trying to praise these fans so he can go to this team. And I see things like that, and I just wonder why. Why is that your thought process when I'm just trying to make a video to show you my day or show you how it is behind the scenes? I remember that in person, I've never heard none of that. So these people, that all of this message online does not matter. It really doesn't. And a lot of times, sometimes I'm like, you know what, I see a message in my request, and I'm like, you know what, let me respond to him today. And then I respond with love or something like that they don't expect. They say some crazy stuff, and I'm like, oh, thank you, man. I hope you have a good day. And now they want to be nice. And I'm like, okay, so then what was the point of that? You know, and I've accepted that, you know, a lot of people have opinions on me, and some people don't like how expressive I am on the court, and I'm a payaso, or I'm a tonto. But then their kids are asking me for photos, so I guess I'll continue to be un payaso.
Ahora que has hablado de las opiniones, me voy a meter también con otro tema que hemos visto mucho en comentarios, y es las gafas.
Yeah.
El jugar con gafas, ¿por qué? Porque mucha gente también ha preguntado, ¿por qué no juega con lentillas?
My eyes are very sensitive. When I moved to Nebraska when I was 17, I knew that I always I squint all the time, right? But I didn't know how bad my eyes were until my assistant coach was like, dude, can you see anything? Like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can see. And he was like, bro, I think you should go get your eyes checked. And that was the first time in my life I went to get my eyes checked. And I realized that I've been blind my whole life. For my first 17 years of life, I was basically blind. And that same day, you know, I got my eyes checked, and I was like, wow. So they made my prescription, and then they tried to put contact lenses, you know, in my eyes, and it took 45 minutes to put in my eyes. I kept doing this, and it was so uncomfortable. I was crying, like the tear ducts, all the tears came out of my eye that I had no more tears left. And when they finally put it in, I said, I'm not doing this every morning. So I said, let's just do glasses. And at that time, we had to wake up at 6 a.m. for workouts every day. And I'm like, yo, waking up at 5:45 to put on goggles? I mean, to put on contacts? No, I'm not doing that. So never tried contacts again from that day. Just been glasses. And now I think I like to be unique on the court. I like to be memorable. I want someone that if they have never watched a basketball game, they've never watched a Baskonia game, they've never watched a game that I play for, they happen to be there, maybe they're someone's girlfriend and they just came to the game as a gift, I don't know. But I want them, when they see me play, to remember me. And they do.
O sea, es algo carismático, lo de las gafas como también lo del pelo.
Yeah, this is iconic now too. 10 years now I've been growing my hair. I started in 2015, and I just had the mohawk, so I had the shave size and I had the mohawk in my hair. that was my hairstyle, you know, from my childhood, from like high school until junior college, that was my main hairstyle. I would do different things with it at times, but I was like, you know what? Let me just grow my hair out, because as a kid, my parents never let me have long hair. It was like every 2 weeks. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just not cut my hair and see what happens. I thought it would be like an afro, and then it ended up being like this. And, well, not like this specifically, but it ended up being long and then separated, and then as it got longer, it falls down, and now it's a signature look. I don't know when or if I'll ever cut it either, but yeah, I think both things are very important to me. And one day I want to get surgery for my eyes, but I'm still going to wear goggles, so people will never know.
O sea, vas a hacer igual un 2 por 1. Lo de las gafas y luego el pelo, ¿no?
1000%.
¿Y cuál es el peinado favorito de todos los que has llevado hasta ahora que te guste mucho?
I think the Mickey Mouse buns, but it's hard to do that myself. There was one day when I played in Manresa when I wore this, and someone helped me do that day, and I think that was in the game against Malaga in the final 8. We played at home. That hairstyle, that day was my favorite that I've ever had. It was perfect. It fit together nicely. It didn't hurt, and it looked good, and we won that game. Like, we killed them. So, yeah, that was my favorite hairstyle.
Vamos a retomar un poco también la parte de baloncesto para ir terminando. Y es que me quiero centrar en ese recuerdo, el primero que me has dicho, de cuando estabas en la NBA, que te enfrentaste a LeBron. ¿Cómo fue esa etapa para ti, la de estar en la NBA? Porque muchos jugadores a veces sueñan con estar allí, ¿no?
Yeah, I mean, it was a dream of mine. When I knew that I was going to Sacramento, I knew that, the Lakers are in the same conference. There's a chance I'll play against LeBron. That was one of my first thoughts. I was like, wow. My first thought was like, wow, I'm in the NBA, and then, wow, Sacramento, you know, my college was 20 minutes from Sacramento. Wow, this is crazy. And I was like, wow, LeBron. And then later on, I saw the preseason schedule, and we played them twice, and I was like, oh my God. It was crazy. Dreams. Genuinely, I've dreamt of that moment. And yeah, just being in front of him was just unreal. And it was just a good reminder that dreams can become reality. And at some point, when they're dreams, you need to wake up and make them a reality. And I was proud of myself for doing that. And yeah.
O sea, es un buen consejo también que le podrías dar a alguien que quiera hacer algo, ¿no?
1000%. Like, genuinely, anything that you want to do, you can do. And I'm one of the best examples of it, because there's no reason I should be here at all. No reason at all.
Has jugado en Estados Unidos, en España, Francia, Australia, ligas diferentes. ¿Qué tiene la NBA que no tengan las demás?
In the NBA, I think on the court, I would say obviously everyone knows the game is different, the rules are different, but it's just the treatment in the NBA is just different. Just because you're treated like you're not human. You're treated like you're above humans. You have literally anything you need. And when I say anything you need, there's someone that you can call to help you. It's genuinely crazy. On the court, off the court. If you don't feel like doing anything on that certain day and you want people to do things for you, you can get that done. People will treat you like you're not human, and obviously it's nice to be treated that way, but I think I like doing things myself. I like feeling involved and being a human, and yeah, it's a lot of things, but I think there's a lot of good things that come with that, and you have more opportunities to inspire more people being in a situation like that. But obviously I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to in the NBA, but yeah, I still have good memories from there.
Y ahora te voy a hacer al revés la pregunta. ¿Qué tiene, por ejemplo, una liga como el ACB que no tengan otras?
Obviously the rule of taking the ball out of bounds and throwing it, they don't have that anywhere else. But no, ACB is honestly unreal. It's amazing. It's the best league in Europe, best domestic league in Europe, and I think the competition genuinely, you just won't find that anywhere. Barcelona can lose to Girona. Real Madrid can lose to Lleida. And especially with these teams that play EuroLeague, and then you come on the weekend and now you have to play a team that hasn't played the whole week, and they have former NBA players and former EuroLeague players that are ready for you. The level of competition is dangerous here, and it's not easy on the body. And yeah, I think certain teams in the EuroLeague get to play tough games during the week, and then they go to their domestic leagues and they can relax, or they can play half of their main players and still win the game by 20 points. So that's what the ACB has that other leagues don't.
Vamos a ir ya, ahora sí que sí, terminando. Te voy a hacer 4 preguntas rápidas. La primera de ellas es, ¿cuál ha sido tu mejor partido, o partido más importante para ti?
Against Paris. Against Paris at home, December 27th. I got injured the week before that. I rolled my ankle against Panathinaikos. I missed the game against Malaga. Then I had my birthday, December 24th. And I came into that game feeling like I was 50, 60%. My brother was here. One of my brothers, the one that plays basketball, actually. He was here. He came for 8 days, and that was one of the games he was able to see. Playing against my best friend, TJ Shorts, who's killing it right now, and I love him. I'm proud of him. The crowd was crazy that game. We were losing by 19 points, and then we came back to win the game, and I was a monster in that game. It was a great game for me, and all of those things made it my favorite game, and yeah, that's for sure the one.
Se juntaron muchas cosas.
Yeah. I saw it was supposed to be rapid fire, but anyway.
¿A quién te gustaría enfrentarte?
Who? You said
Yes. Against.
player or a team?
Whatever you want.
I just like to play against friends, people that I know, because people that genuinely know me, not people that I'm cool with, so that I can talk crap, talk trash, and then after the game we can laugh and talk about the memories that we made, and hopefully I'm the one that won that game. So I have a lot of really good friends in this league, and so all of them, I'll say.
Un mensaje también para la afición.
Gracias por todo. The real fans that have supported me and supported this team since I've been here, I just thank you for real, because I want you guys to know that I've given my all. I know there's days where people wish I did things differently or said things differently, but I've always been myself. And the people that love me for me, thank you. The people that don't, and this message is not for you. But thank you to the fans that continue to show up at Buesa, and I appreciate you guys, and thank you. Hopefully we can finish the year strong and make better memories for you guys.
Y por último, un sueño que quieras cumplir.
In basketball, I want to win the EuroLeague, and I'm going to win the EuroLeague.
¿Y en lo personal? ¿En lo personal?
I want to meet my wife and be a good father and be a good husband, and I want to impact people for the rest of my life, and when I'm gone, I want people to remember me for being authentic and being myself, and for having a positive impact, on the world and people around me.
Así que, Chima, ¿cómo se dice en nigeriano gracias?
Nigeria has several languages, hundreds of languages, and my language is Igbo. And to say thank you, we say dalu or imela.
Dalu.
Imela. I like imela better.
Imela.
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 Imela, Chima, gracias por estar aquí. y te esperamos también más adelante.
Thank you. I appreciate it.